morning a true smile graced Zed's lips. These people had no idea what was coming for them. Zed watched his own back as it moved through the market, ambling unhurriedly behind his friends. Watching was all he, the real Zed, could do anymore. On a cool, dark morning shortly after his possession, he'd found himself abruptly ejected from his own body, as if Makiva had shouldered him out. He still remembered the shock of suddenly seeing himself rise from bed, the cold horror of his lips smiling and his arms stretching lazily upward, all without him. Finally, a little elbow room. Makiva had sighed with pleasure. It was the last time she'd acknowledged him. He followed now as a strange sort of spirit, a smoky, invisible bystander, billowing just a few feet away. Though he moved through the crowd, eyes passed over him without notice. No one could see him, though not for lack of trying. Zed had spent the last several weeks trying desperately to break through to his friends. He'd screamed in their ears from morning bell till night, and made horrible, vulgar faces just inches from their noses. He'd tried pleading and cajoling and calling them names. Nothing had worked. So far. What about these leather braces? Liza said, skipping to a nearby tanner stand. Fran's last pair were melted by a spitting multipede. Not bad, but I've got something a bit frillier in mind. Brock's eyes twinkled mischievously. Oh, no, Liza breathed. Brock, what did you do? I wasn't here, said Lot, rubbing her temples. I had no part in this. Fran will be mad enough about the party. Brock once bought his dad a silver-plated shoehorn, Zed announced. He wrote a note saying he should have something nice to wedge his head from his own butt. Zed laughed at the memory. Occasionally it helped just to talk to his friends, to pretend like things were normal. Though sometimes it made him feel worse. Zed's laughter ebbed. I wish you could all hear me, he said with a sigh. He knew the others had no sense that he was there. Maybe he was only torturing himself. But loneliness had been taking its toll. Brock, tell me this isn't going to be another silver-plated shoehorn. Zed's attention snapped to his body, where Makiva was smirking. She flicked his eyes to him, the briefest glance, then back toward Brock. Brock laughed, slapping a hand on the imposter's shoulder. No prank is worth the punishment I got for that one, though it was close. Zed glared as Makiva giggled in his voice, but she didn't spare him another glance. Be careful what you wish for around her. She'll use it against you every time. A second smoky figure stretched lazily into being. Soon a gaunt man with a tired face and pointed ears sat atop one of the booths. Like Zed, this spirit also wore a chain around his neck, but his edges were more frayed. Smoke curled slowly away from the boundaries of his form. This was Foster Pendleton, also known as the Traitor of Freestone. He was the most famous elf-blooded man in history, and the warlock who had ended the world. Not now, Foster, Zed muttered. I'm trying to contact my friends. I'm pretty sure I saw Brock's ear twitch in my direction this time. Foster was a victim of Makiva's, too, though he hadn't yet offered up any details about how he'd fallen into the witch's power, or about his role in the Day of Dangers. Then again, Zed hadn't asked. It wasn't that he didn't have questions for the warlock. Zed had many of them, history books full, but a part of him was scared of what the answers would be. The other spirit merely rolled his eyes. As much as I admire your demented determination, he said, they're never going to respond. Only Makiva can see or hear us. Give it a rest. You're exhausting to watch. Well, you're welcome to leave, Zed responded with a glare. I'll call you if I need a depressing grump. If only I could, Foster said. But like you, I'm still tethered to the chain. The warlock exploded into a curl of smoke, then twisted through the air, reforming beside Brock. He peered down at the boy. Hey, Brock, he said, Liza's way out of your league, and your punchlines are adequate at best. Then he turned to Zed, shrugging. See? If that didn't give him goosebumps, I don't know what will. Foster dissolved again, reforming several feet away atop the stall of an oblivious haberdasher. He pretended to dust off his eternally undusty sleeves. Though it was kind of fun. Perhaps you're on to something after all. Please, Zed hissed. Foster glanced up from his cuff, his smile faltering at Zed's expression. She's taken everything from me. I have to keep trying. The warlock sighed and shook his head.